What is up? What is up? 2 minutes in the box with Gordo. Today, we've got a lot to talk about in a short span of time, and I want to get to the news, shall we? Okay, Utah Mammoth stacked and fully loaded for the near future. They just re-signed Logan Cooley, 8 years, 80 million. And their dynamic duo, him and Dylan Gunther, $17 million. This Utah Mammoth team is dangerous with JJ Paterka. I mean, this team is stacked to the brim. We're talking stacked to the brim. This Utah Mammoth team is going to be dangerous, and a little off topic. This reminds me of when the Seattle Supersonics, when they got really good finally, when they got Kevin Durant and all those guys. But what happened was they relocated with arena issues and stuff like that, with a lot of controversy out of it, and they became very good and contending team, with over time. So going back to the Utah Mammoth, this team is stacked to the brim. And you've got a very good young team. Besides Logan Cooley, you got Dylan Gunther, you got Clayton Keller, you've got, JJ Paterka, you've got Nick Schmaltz, who's leading the league in points and goals. You've got a very good stacked team for the Utah Mammoth. I mean, oh my God, this team, you've got Veggie, you've got Vinacek, you've got a very good team right here. The Utah Mammoth, you've got Mikhail Sergachev, you've got a huge stack. And this team is one of the best teams in the NHL right now. You know, Recently they went on a 7 game winning streak after the debut of the mascot Tusky. And I say this Utah Mammoth team is going to be a contending team for a long time. It's one of those things. One of those things. This team is stacked to the brim. Number one team in the Western Conference with an 8-3 record. Just amazing, you know. And I gotta tell you, that Coyote owner, Alex Malero, whatever the hell that con artist name is, he is kicking dirt around and hating life because he missed out on a very good team. I mean, if he would have gotten an arena deal done in Phoenix, I mean, this team would be the best team in the NHL by now. Brian Smith, once again, this dude is magic. He just got a distressed team that needed a new scenery, new home, and structure, stability for a long term future. Look what he's got right now, a number one team in the NHL. I said it, the Utah Mammoth, number one team in the National Hockey League. It's unreal. It's unreal. It's a basically we're talking a five-way tie with New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Colorado, and Montreal. This is unreal. The Utah Mammoth is the best in the West. It's unreal and unbelievable. All right, now going to the things we had to talk about. So let's just say this. You know, a lot happened last night. Sidney Crosby, 498 multi-point game of his career. That is simply unbelievable. That is unreal, guys. I mean, unbelievable. I got to tell you, unreal to see something that is just wow. Sidney Crosby still getting it done. I mean, simply wow. Simply wow. You know, I'm just just amazed by this whole thing. Just simply amazed by everything that's come out in fruition. I mean, 16 games last night. We had 109 goals. And that was like 6.8 goals per game, shots 876, 769 saves, two hat tricks. First goal was by Morgan Frost at 6:14 p.m. playing for the Calgary Flames. against the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. And the last goal, Brent Clark, LA Kings against the San Jose Sharks at 1:24 a.m. in the morning. What a wild, wild night in the NHL. And then Cole Caulfield, 11th overtime game-winning goal, passing Sean Monahan for the most before the age of 25 in NHL history. I can't believe it, you know? And then Jonathan Quick, 64th career shutout, tying King Hank, 17th all time on the NHL's list. And Macklin Celebrini, 10th teenager in NHL history to need 10 or fewer games to reach 10 assists mark in the season so far in this young season. And Victor Olofsson, fourth different player in Colorado Avalanche history to record a 5-point game at the age of 30 or older. Amazing. Kyle Connor, not just 61st career game winning goal, matched his teammate Mark Scheifele. Unbelievable. I mean, we are going on and on and on and on. Nathan McKinnon, ninth active player with three 100-point games. McKinnon, stud, superstar. Corey Perry, oldest King player to have a point streak that's 4 games. Unreal. Connor Bedard, first career hat trick, third youngest in Blackhawk history. And that's his first. And going back to Logan Cooley, became the first player to score a goal each in his first 8 goals of the season in the first period. This boy is special. Miles Wood became the second player in Blue Jacket history, tying goal in the third period and overtime winner in the same game. Morgan Geekie, unreal. I gotta say, 96-mile-per-hour slap shot, which is the hardest shot to be on goal this season, according to NHL Edge. And Jack Eichel, I gotta tell you, Jack Eichel is just a superstar. He's best player in the NHL right now. The stats don't lie. And Buffalo, you should have let him get the surgery. Since you guys didn't give him the surgery, that's on you. That is straight up on you. You guys screwed up. Just heavily admit it to it, all right? Just heavily admit it to it. All right. And Colin Parayko, fourth Blues defenseman in history. You know, he's in the class with Al McInnes, Alex Petrangelo, and Chris Pronger. Great list of players. Congratulations to Colin Parayko. Leo Carlson became the third Swedish player with multi shorthanded goals before the age 21. He's on that list with Gabriel Landeskog and Matt Sundin. Hell of a list. Hell of a list for the kid, eh? Max Domi, 8 career goals against the Flames. And Doroshev, 9 goals, most through the first 10 games in Vegas Golden Knights history. And here's another one. Zegras, man, that dude is on fire, guys. Man, that change of scenery must have really helped him. He's like fourth player in Flyers history, a point in each of his first 6 home games in his tenure with this team. I mean, just unreal. And I gotta tell you, speaking of the Pennsylvania battle, Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby, those two are just dynamite and back in action. They have I mean, we're talking like, this is like nostalgic, like 10 years ago or so. Gino and Sid, best 1-2 punch. It's like, man, this is like their last hurrah. I mean, 30 points combined. Let's make sure if that's an accurate statement. But honestly, the Pittsburgh Penguins, you know, I don't know if they're going to be trading, with anybody anytime soon down the road. I mean, Chris Letang, 600 assists in his career. Congratulations to him. And so Gino and Sid, 31 points combined this year in 11 games. And no coincidence. Crosby, 8 goals, 7 assists. You know, I got to say, this Penguins squad, I mean, surprise, surprise. There's a lot of surprises so far in the NHL standings. You know, I know we're like 3 weeks into the NHL season. 3 weeks into the NHL season. It's amazing to see where things lie. I mean, Calgary, worst team in the NHL, along with San Jose and St. Louis and Minnesota and the New York Islanders and the Bruins and Preds and the Canucks and the Rangers and the Lightning and the Sabres and the Blue Jackets. I mean, there's a bit of a cluster, you know what, with the point standings right now. I mean, there's parity. That's why the NHL is so much exciting and fun when it's parity and it's unpredictable. And I got to say this, New Jersey, I mean, the Devils are a very dangerous team when Jack Hughes is healthy. I mean, did anybody see that goal last night? You know, he makes a sick drop pass. I mean, unbelievable. That was unbelievable. I mean, Jack Hughes, when he's healthy, that dude is dangerous. I would be like, oh my God, you know. He just made that sick pass to Jasper Bratt, you know. It was just sick. And when a healthy Jack Hughes is healthy, the Devils are a perennial Stanley Cup favorite. And that kid can play. High IQ, his speed. If he stays healthy, hell, the guy's going to be a Hart Trophy finalist. And he's got the talent, he's got the swag. I mean, we've got a lot of things going, you know. And here's another one. JT Miller got a nice standing ovation, returning. You know, he's with the Rangers now, traded from Vancouver. I mean, it was a good return home at last. And you know, and the Rangers got the nice 2-0 win shutout. And we had two teams who didn't score. Vancouver didn't score, neither did Washington. Sad, sad, sad. And Alex Ovechkin is one goal away of getting to 900. You know, everyone says Ovi's got the most goals in NHL history, but theoretically and on a technicality, Gordie Howe's got the most goals by an NHL player of all time. Gordie Howe, he is the hockey greats, one of the hockey gods of all time. It's unbelievable that Ovechkin's near 900 in the modern NHL era. Gordie Howe at 801 regular season goals in the NHL and 174 in the WHA. Put those together, you've got 875 goals and including 68 and 28. According to the statistics on the map here, you've got boom, boom. Sorry about this. My calculator's acting like a dir. Yeah, let's see. 971. 971 goals. That is an accomplishment. Gordie Howe just basically one out of a million. 68 plus 28. 1,071 goals, I should say. If you put the regular season and playoffs combined, Gordy has got 1,071. Ovi, according to his numbers, you know, if the lockouts didn't interfere, Ovi would technically be at 915 by now. If it weren't for the lockouts and the worldwide, you know, whatever, you know, what happened about 5.5, 6 years ago. Doesn't matter right now, but Ovechkin, I mean, just unreal. One goal away to 900. And Gordie Howe, to me, I still think he's one of the greats of all time. 1,071 goals combined. Still one of the greats. Mr. Hockey, one of the greats. You can't deny it or debate about it. And oh, yeah, it was a very hectic night. Like I said, all 32 teams played. And we're talking a lot of numbers, a lot of stats. Just simply unbelievable. What a night. But, you know, there was some criticism, you know, with the timing, you know, these games and ticket sales. Yeah, kind of, I just wish it would have been like, oh, yeah, the NHL, it did go well. The frenzy went well, but honestly, according to Pierre LeBron, he said, I would imagine most hockey fans loved the Frozen Frenzy last night. Not sure how they couldn't. But I did get some grumbling from some NHL team execs, some not happy with start times and how it's tough to sell their tickets on their market. Yeah, it's tough. I get it. It's a tough sale, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and I gotta say it was a very unique night, in the NHL. I thought it was very entertaining to say the least. And one cool thing is that the Minnesota Wild brought their nostalgic early jerseys from back in the day when Marian Gaborik and he did the starting lineup, and that was cool though. That was literally awesome. That was awesome. Oh yeah. Minnesota Wild, I know they lost to Winnipeg last night, but man, those jerseys are sick. They were awesome. Awesome. I'm telling you, straight up awesome. They need to go back to that, but I think they should go with, Minnesota North Star colors, like the gold and green and red. Add a little dash of red and black. Bam. You've got a mixture of old Minnesota North Stars and Minnesota Wild. Please, if I were you, Minnesota Wild, go back to the North Star colors, but add black and red to it, and bam, you got something perfect. I'm not gonna lie, Minnesota North Star color, green and gold, bring that tradition back and bring the red in there as well from the Wild, and also bring the black like from the later years. So it would be like perfect, nostalgic, and modern. That's what I would say. And then we got a crazy lawsuit here. This is the last thing before we sign off for the day. So the Dallas Stars and the Mavericks, they are in some crazy, ugly legal battle. So the Dallas Mavericks are taking the Stars to court, and the Mavericks filed a 253-page petition in a Dallas business court seeking injunctive relief against the Stars. This dispute centers around the Stars allegedly breaching a clause in their 1998 franchise agreement that requires their corporate headquarters to stay in Dallas, and the Stars moved their headquarters and practice facility in Frisco in 2003. Additionally, the Dallas Mavericks asserts the Stars obstructed plans, maintenance, and improvements at the American Airlines Center. The city of Dallas supported the Mavericks' claim last year when the proposed $300 million American Airlines Center renovation deal collapsed. And yeah, wild to hear that. And, there's been talks that the Dallas Stars could be moving to Plano and the Mavericks could be moving out as well. But this is an ugly situation. This stuff would have never happened under Mark Cuban's watch. But, the Mavericks, they're in some controversy right now, but, we don't have enough time to talk about that. But yeah, you know, this could be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. At the end of the day, I would say, you know, let the Stars stay in downtown Dallas and let the Mavericks leave because, the Mavericks, they've been getting bad PR, but honestly, I think basketball is not the future. I think hockey is the future. Yeah, so this has been 2 Minutes in the Box with Gordo. We'll be back on the air tomorrow with my co host, Ray D'Souza, and we'll be back on the air. Have a great rest of the day, everyone, and enjoy your Wednesday. And oh, yeah, one game on the air tonight. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Have a great day, everybody.